NQTrader, and I want to welcome Byron. He is from NinjaTrader Brokerage. I'm going to give him the screen, and now he has the ability to present, and I think you should be able to talk, and we can see you. And if you have questions for him, please.
Okay, test.
Yep, I can see.
Hi, Jordan. Can you?
Yep.
Okay, you can see my screen now. Great. I'm going to expand it here. Hang on one sec. And just a sound check. Can everyone hear me okay? Or is it too loud, too soft?
I can hear you perfect.
Okay, great. All right, well, thanks again, Jordan. As you mentioned, my name's Byron. I'm with NinjaTrader. Today I just wanted to briefly touch upon some of the things that NinjaTrader is doing as a brokerage and software company here in the present and going forward. So shouldn't take that long, maybe 10-15 minutes. Feel free to ask any questions. However, I'm more than happy to stay longer and address anything that you want me to answer. So to get started, though, I have to read off the disclaimer. As a registered broker speaking in public, we always have to ensure that we make sure everyone's aware of the risk disclosure. So as you can see here at the bottom, futures and Forex trading contains substantial risk and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. If you want to read up more on this, you can click the risk disclosure link here in the middle that I'm highlighting, or feel free to contact me or any broker here directly, and we can cover the risk and margins. And that's another thing, margins I will cover a little bit later, just so everyone's aware of how the margins work here, both on an intraday and overnight basis. But to get started, I just wanted to impress upon everyone that NinjaTrader is a brokerage. We want to get the awareness out there. As of last year, NinjaTrader became a brokerage house, and we now offer both futures and Forex trading. So you can open an account directly with us. It's a $1,000 minimum deposit. That'll get you a live data connection, both username and password, to either test in simulation or trade live. With an account size of 1,000, we have $500 margins for most products. As I said, I'll cover that a little bit later. But initially, I wanted to go over commissions. Everyone's always concerned about commissions and the cost of doing business. So we've made it very transparent as a brokerage and in the way that commissions are charged. It's sort of different than a lot of other houses out there now. So the way that NinjaTrader is now charging commissions is based on the license subscription that you have with the brokerage. So I'm going to go ahead and click on our commissions page here. So whether you're a smaller volume trader or a small account size, as I mentioned, it's a $1,000 minimum account size to get started with this, or whether you're a high volume trader, your commission rates are based on the license subscription you have, with the best or deepest discount rate being that with a lifetime license at 53 cents per contract. I'll go in a little bit further in detail of all-in rates. I just wanted to cover this initially. As you can see in the middle here, 73 cents per contract. This applies to a lease subscription. Our minimum lease is 3 months for a NinjaTrader standard version license, and the minimum, cost is $180 for the 3-month subscription. We also have a 6-month and a 1-year, but initially you can start off with a 3-month at $180. And then lastly, if you look on the far right, for 95 cents per contract, this is the direct edition version, or a free version of NinjaTrader, if you will. It's a little scaled down in nature. There's certain features it does not include that the standard lease or lifetime subscriptions have, but it still can be used for live trading, and you can execute orders and still view charts with it. I'm going to click here on View All-In Rates. And Jordan, feel free anytime if something happens in the market, if you need to interject or take over the screen, just jump in and cut me off if you need to.
We're fine. We're fine.
Okay. And again, anyone, feel free to ask any questions or stop me anywhere if something is of concern to you or you want to have a little further detail. So here I'm in our all-in rate spreadsheet, and This is posted on our website. Feel free to bookmark this page. But this displays all the most commonly traded products that we offer and the entire all-in rate that you would see on your spreadsheet or trading statement, I'm sorry. So you can compare these rates if you have an account at another broker and you want to see what you're paying there versus what you would pay here with your license key if you currently have one, or if you don't have one and are considering leasing or buying a lifetime license, you can see what you would pay here with a brokerage account. So just for an example, I'll start with E-mini S&P. As you can see, exchange fees are $1.16. This is on a per contract basis. NFA fees, 1 penny, and then again, based on your subscription, you'll either pay 53 cents if you have a lifetime license, 73 cents if you lease it, or 95 cents if you use the direct edition. An all-in round turn rate with a lifetime license, you would pay $3.40, and that's again for a round turn, 1 buy, 1 sell, or $1.70 per side. If you lease the platform, you would pay $3.80, a middle tiered rate, or $1.90 per side. And again, if you use the direct edition or free version, you would pay a slightly higher commission rate than the other two, and you would be at $4.24 a round turn. So if any of you are at the spreadsheet and the products you don't see are on the first page, you can scroll down. This is actually 3 pages long. It covers all the domestic exchanges, CME, CBOT, NYMEX, COMEX, and ICE, as you can see, as well as Eurex. It's like George says your chart is frozen. If you're using NinjaTrader, feel free to contact our support department. I'll cover where you can get support for that if you're having a data connection issue or something. We'll hit that or cover that next. Okay, so I'm going to back out of the commission spreadsheet here. Again, feel free to bookmark this page as a reference point, and you can compare these again with your current brokerage, or if you're looking to come on board to NinjaTrader, those are the rates you would expect to pay. And keep in mind at other houses, sometimes there are other fees in addition to the commissions, so they might advertise a very low commission rate. However, on the back end, there are other line items, so to speak, you know, with technology fees, brokerage fees, etc. So make sure you know what you're paying all in all for each round turn. And because sometimes there can be some hidden costs there that you may not be aware of that you really don't have to pay for if you bring it up with a broker, or if you come on board with us. You'll always know what you're paying because this is very transparent and it's listed on our website, so it's always accessible to anyone. Okay, so secondly, in addition to costs, another compelling reason people like to come on board with NinjaTrader is for the service and support to our platform. There's a very large NinjaTrader community out there now. We have over 450 ecosystem partners, as well as thousands of add-ons to the platform in terms of third-party indicators, etc. I'm not going to cover those, but I want to cover the help that you can get if you are using the platform in any manner, whether it's programming or just execution or for charting, etc. These are great resources to use or utilize if you need help or assistance. So to get started, if you're new to the platform, we have live daily webinars each day. There's sometimes 2 and 3 webinars per day. This is to get you up to speed on the platform features for those of you that are new to it. And there's also some more advanced classes in terms of NinjaScript and running automated strategies, etc. So always feel free to check the schedule there. We also have an online video library that'll take you directly to all the features and topics within NinjaTrader, as well as a YouTube channel. There's a dedicated YouTube channel. If you just type NinjaTrader, it'll take you to a lot of different videos pertaining to the software as well. And then for those of you that have actual live accounts with NinjaTrader, we do have a 24-hour emergency trade desk free of charge. So if something happens in the middle of the night and you're trading you know, an overnight market, or even during the day for that matter, you always have a phone number to call in, and they can liquidate or get you out of your position, and even help you get reconnected again through our brokerage support team. And here's a list of numbers. With the brokerage side of the business, we do have inbound phone support. On the software side, if you have an issue with the platform, you would initially start by sending an email here to platform support at NinjaTrader, and one of the support technicians will be able to review your inquiry and either pass it to the right person or answer it on the spot in a reply, and that way you have a documented response. Ted has a question here. I'll get to that in a second. Is there a charge for broker-assisted support? It depends, I guess, on what the nature of the request is. There's no charge for inbound phone support from the brokers, and if it's a software-related issue, we generally send that to the platform support team first, and they're able to work out the solution on the software side. To close out a trade, no charge at all. That is a free service, and that would actually be directed to our emergency trade desk. So for those of you that have a live account or considering coming on board to NinjaTrader, the emergency trade desk is a free service that's included with having an account. So hopefully that answers your question, Ted. And again, that's 24/5, Sunday evening through Friday evening. Okay, great. So again, lots of ways to contact support, whether it's a treasury-related inquiry, brokerage, or software-related. We cover all the bases, and the nice thing with this support model is that it allows us to efficiently handle all the requests and inquiries, and as a result of that, we can keep the cost of the platform down for the customer if everyone sort of follows this model. I know it's not the traditional model in that you're usually used to picking up a phone and being able to call someone, and we're still offering that capacity in the brokerage side. However, with the software, we've just found it's easier and more efficient to resolve the issues via email-based support initially. They do have an outbound phone service or support for that matter. If need be, they can call you, and they can also offer remote assistance if your issue cannot be resolved via email. So moving right along, lastly, just to wrap it up, we're coming out with a new version 8 of NinjaTrader. I don't know if some of you have heard all the buzz out there lately, but it's in beta testing now. We're getting ready to roll it out into a public beta. I don't have an exact ETA on when that will be. It probably looks like 2 to 3 weeks away, hopefully. And then the final, production release of NinjaTrader should be out later in the year. So along with that, you're going to see a lot of new features, and they've more or less made the software, the version 8 will be a seamless integration between you and your trading account, in that you can access the account directly from the platform. There'll be certain buttons you can push to withdraw or make a wire request out of your account. No need to send an email or call anyone for that matter. You can do it directly from the platform. You'll be able to access your account details directly from the platform. So there's certain features of NinjaTrader that will be rolled out that are only going to be available to those that have a NinjaTrader brokerage account. There's also going to be a mobile application launched later in the year. Again, no ETA on that yet, but these are some of the things that will be rolled out eventually with the version 8 release, as well as ATM strategy server-side OCOs, which will be managed on the server level versus on the platform level. So some of the features that a lot of people have been requesting are going to be rolled out with version 8. I think there's over 450 enhancements to the version 8 software. So everything in version 7 will still continue to be in version 8, as well as a lot of new features that will be offered. And you'll see a lot more enhancements to the charting, as well as the NinjaScript programming features for those of you that code your own strategies. So that more or less wraps it up. For those of you that have questions, I'm going to hang out in the room for a while here, and I'll list my contact information as well as some other links to NinjaTrader if you want to get started on the account application. There's no obligation to apply for an account. We can get you approved and get you set up with a trading account, and if you want to fund it right away, it's a $1,000 minimum deposit, or you can just simply leave it open and fund it at your leisure. So another question here from Nelson. Don't know if it was mentioned, but is there an upgrade charge for the new software? No, there's no upgrade charges with NinjaTrader, and for those that have the lifetime license, all future upgrades are included with that. So you basically own the software when you purchase the lifetime license in NinjaTrader, and again, that was $995 for the purchase price. I'll actually click on the site here of your different options, whether you want to buy it, lease it, or use the free version for that matter. You can see the pricing here down below. They even have an installment plan for those that want to make some payments on NinjaTrader. And if anyone's serious today about buying a lifetime license or within the next couple days, if you contact me directly, I can arrange or ask for a discount and maybe get you some money off of the lifetime license. So I'm going to post my contact information here, just my email address and phone number. Feel free to send me a note or give me a call anytime you have any questions with NinjaTrader regarding the brokerage or the software. If I can't answer it, I'm sure I can get you to the right person that will be able to.
Byron, I had a question or two.
Yeah.
One was, are there plans in the future for the brokerage side to offer stock trading?
Yeah, that is in the plans, not the near future, but I think eventually we will have stock trading. You can trade stocks now with the platform, but there's a lot of regulatory things they have to go through in order to become a actual stock brokerage. So probably looking at 2 to 3 years out. And again, that's just a guess. I don't have any real ETA, but I know from the top down it has been mentioned that is in the future plans. So, right now it's futures and Forex from the brokerage side. You can trade stocks if you have an account with TD Ameritrade, MB Trading, or Interactive Brokers. If you currently have an account there, you can actually connect NinjaTrader directly to them now. I'm clicking here on the connection guides, and here you'll see all the available brokers: Interactive Brokers, TD Ameritrade, and MB Trading for stocks. These are the stock brokerages that we offer.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, I'm trying to think. Does anybody else have any other questions? We want to get as many out as we can now. Otherwise,
for me, I'm interested in some of the future developments. Jordan and I talk all the time because we teach this stuff, but things, teaching tools within the software platform, that help people learn how to trade. Things like in market replay, we really love the ability to back up once you start with replay, which you can't currently do. You're stuck moving forward, or you have to restart. And things like that, the ability to draw on the chart,
yeah,
a little cleaner, things like that, to do illustrations, just little features that really would assist people that teach how to trade, would be really, really sweet.
Yeah, I think we'll see more enhancements to the feature side, and then the online help guide will be rewritten as well, and then I think there'll be more and more interactive videos as well as live training webinars for the version 8. So when they roll that out, there's going to be a lot of demand, and I think inquiries into the new features and platforms, so we'll be sure to be able to handle that accordingly.
okay.
Do you have a way to take suggestions on new features?
Yeah, I always suggest people send an email simply to platformsales@ninjatrader.com or simply support@ninjatrader.com. They do have an enhancement list, or a list of future enhancements, so to speak. So they take all the customer requests in, compile those into a list, and then as time goes on, if they can add them on and it makes sense, then they definitely do that, and they listen to what the customer wants. And that's where a lot of the version 8 features came from, was simply from customer request, in relation to charts and NinjaScript coding, and even a Forex board. There's a new Forex platform to trade from with NinjaTrader. So yeah, that has a lot to do with the future development of the platform as well.
Let me ask a question about SIM accounts and demos. So, I obviously get a lot of new users, and
Yeah.
they're looking to try out the platform. And so if they don't open up an account with you, and they just download the free platform, and then there's someplace they can sign up for a data connection, can they get all that without opening up an account, or do they actually have to open up an account?
Yeah, so the way the demo trial works is it's good for 14 days from the time you sign up, which will give you a live data connection, just the same as someone trading live sees. You'll have your own demo username and password. Upon expiration after the 14 days, you would either have to sign up for another demo. However, it is requested or at least asked that you fill out an online application to show an intent to open an account, and then the extension of the demo can go on another 14 days for that matter. Now, it's exchange policy. We can't offer them any longer than 14 days, just simply because of the bandwidth involved, and you know it's not a free service anymore. The exchange is actually starting to charge for data as of January 1st this year, 2015. So for those of you that have accounts, you probably have already noticed an additional like $5 per month per exchange charge, depending on the brokerage you're at, but that's generally what the cost is, or $15 a month for all 4 CME exchanges. However, that doesn't apply with the demos, but the cost is still there in the back end. And as long as you were to open an account, or at least start with the application, we can extend the demos out longer than 14 days. And then if you fund the account with the minimum $1,000, you essentially have an unlimited data feed after that, because you get your own live data connection, username and password.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that you can get 14 and then you can get a second 14 of real-time data, and then after that you're going to have to fund your account.
Yeah, it's the expectation. I mean, there's not a tight policy on it right now, but that could change, you know, down the road or in the future, you know, as the exchange sort of tightens their belt with the data and whatnot. But that's generally what the evolution is for someone coming in, and you know, that's generally what a good I guess process is. You know, you want to at least get up and running, have a live account. Even if you're not trading, you can still do the simulation with a live account. But if you want to make a trade, it's there for you. And with the $1,000 minimum, we've tried to lower the bar to at least allow people to be able to participate in the market without having to have that, you know, initial lump sum investment that some other brokerages require. And we've lowered our margins as well to make it feasible for someone to come in and at least be able to trade one contract. You know, even on a $1,000 account, you can sort of, you know, get your feet wet with that, or at least put in some live trades and get familiar with how the market moves in a live environment. Again, without risking a lot on the account side. So, and you know, and generally too, it's for traders or programmers, for them to test strategies, you know, on an ongoing basis or longer term. Sometimes they may need 3 or 6 months of data. So that's obviously a lot of demo signups and expirations. The $1,000 account allows them to just continue in testing or whatever they're doing for coding, you know, on a longer term basis without having to get, you know, kicked out because of a demo, et cetera, and without having to make, you know, a large initial investment.
There's another question.
Oh yeah, is there still an inactivity fee? Because for some it takes almost 4 months before they're ready to start trading. Yeah, there is an inactivity fee. However, if you make one trade per month, the inactivity fee is waived. The inactivity fee is $25 per month. So even if you're not comfortable making a live trade, it's still considered somewhat of a smaller, I guess, fee to have the live data and, you know, a live account connection for that matter.
Well,
But again, if you place one trade, the inactivity fee is waived.
Yeah, if you just go click on, you know, the NQ, or there's some, I think there might be a contract that's even smaller than,
Yeah.
You know, even with slippage, you might only lose $20, so you'll save yourself another $5 off of that.
Yeah, essentially, that's one way to look at it. Yes,
Yeah.
Or even like a microcurrency, they have a real small tick value. You could go in and try to scratch one, or you know, you'd obviously incur a small commission with that as well, but it would be less than $25, hopefully, yeah, if it's a liquid market and you can just get in and out.
Yeah. Okay.
And you get a little live trading experience.
Good. You know, what I usually recommend for everybody is, you know, use the demo account when you're ready, when you understand enough about the trading platform to make educated decisions. Don't start a demo account right away, because you won't even know what you're looking at, and, you know, wait a little bit and then use the demo account for a couple weeks and make the decision on who you want to go with. If you're happy, then open up the real account and even if you never trade, $25 a month is a very, very inexpensive charge to be able to use all this equipment, all this technology, all the software, all the data and everything else. And it's well worth it, you know, and then when you're ready to trade, it's all there for you. So.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's, you know, we've tried to make it as feasible and as inexpensive as possible to get started trading, you know, and even from a learning standpoint, this allows you to not make a very large investment, but be able to, like you said, have all the tools available and features of the platform. You know, with some other platforms out there for all the programming capability that NinjaTrader has, and then as well as charting and just overall features of the platform, it can be very expensive if you compare it to some of the other capabilities of other platforms. You know, it can run up into the thousands of dollars just for the things that you can do with this platform alone. And you have the option to own it, you know, purchasing a lifetime license, or on a monthly basis, you know, it can average 50 to 60 a month if you average it out, if you're leasing the platform on a quarterly, semi-annual, or annual basis.
What's the difference if you just use the free version or another platform versus the full paid version? The difference in commission, the overall difference in commission.
So the difference in commission between the free version and the lifetime license is, you know, almost what, 42 cents there, 20 cents if you lease it, and you know, just slightly more on a third tier with the free version.
It's a little under 50 cents per trade, and then each direction, so it's almost $1 that you save every time you trade. And if you place 10 trades a day, that's $10 a day. And if you trade 20 days a month, you know, that's $200 a month. In a course of, you know, 5 months, you could have paid for the system. So there's definitely some benefit to owning the system when you start to trade.
Yeah, from the long-term perspective, the cost benefit, it would wind up paying for itself over time, you know, based on the volume that you do.
Right. And, you know, 10 trades may be a lot for a beginner, or it may not be. You know, a lot of people, when they first start out, they start blasting through trades right away, and then later on they calm down a little bit. But still, you know, it's almost a no-brainer. If you like everything about the brokerage, the money saving is substantial. So you can't complain about that.
And did anyone have a question on margins? I know I mentioned it. I didn't really touch upon it that much, though. But essentially, we have $500 day trading margins for most products. And one question I get a lot from people pertaining to margins is, you know, regarding overnight and how that works. And some other brokerage houses out there, just, you know, the regular day margins are exchange margins, essentially. The way it works with us is $500 day trading margins. However, that applies from session open until session close. So for instance, the ES session open is at 5 p.m. every day. And that session goes from 5 p.m. until 4:15 p.m. the following day. So any order placed in between those times is $500 margin, whether it's 2 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock at night, or you know, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. $500 margin. The only time that the overnight margin applies is if you carry an open position into that 4:15 close of trading. So just a really simple rule, but it's confusing for some out there because the way that other houses treat margin, and you know, sometimes they apply overnight margin at the session close, and then it goes actually for overnight. But with us, intraday margin is session open to session close. It's only if you carry an open position into the close of trading that you'll incur the overnight margin.
Nelson had a question, but I want to kind of just add on to what you're saying, because for some of the stuff that we teach is we usually want to be out of the market well before the close at 4:15. So we're always going to be on the day margin, and the earliest we would start trading would be about 3 a.m. So with what you're saying is that at 3 a.m., if you decide to start placing trades, you're in a day trading margin condition. It's only $500, correct?
That is correct.
And that's a big advantage because I'll tell you, I actually trade with Interactive Brokers, and I use NinjaTrader platform for all my charting. And Interactive Brokers charges me full margin pretty much all the time. They have a little bit of a discount during the day. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's not really the end of the world because I carry enough money in the account, but if for a beginning trader, it would be very difficult, you know, to trade one contract because you'll have to have 2-3 times the amount of money that you would with NinjaTrader Brokerage.
Right.
Okay, and did you get Nelson's question?
Was that the one regarding the deposit and lifetime license?
Yeah, right, I think so.
Yeah, I just posted there the commission as well. So yeah, another thing to keep in mind, when you're getting the license subscription with NinjaTrader, you're essentially buying your commission rate. So the lifetime is buying you the best rate at 53 cents, leasing it again 73 cents. But and as you mentioned, over time, you know, that tends to pay for itself based on your volume and longevity in the market.
Okay. Any other questions? No?
No, well, yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up here. I'll leave lastly with the link to open an account if any of you want to get started, and I should have my contact information there as well. And yeah, feel free to post the recording anytime you like. Thanks again, Jordan, for allowing me to be in here, and thank you everyone for taking the time to listen to the NinjaTrader presentation.
You're welcome, and thank you for coming. I'm going to switch back over to my screen. Hopefully it'll work.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Okie doke. Well, that was really good. We got some good questions, found out some new information. Too bad Calvin's not here to ask questions about NinjaTrader 8. I know he wants to know that. But anyway, you know, very good presentation. I appreciate you coming by, Byron, and yeah, any day now. And thanks again for everything. You're welcome. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.